Look what we got.
Bikes.
Now we gotta find a place to mount them.
Where are we gonna put these things?
I don't know.
Big little tires.
Little big bikes.
Little big bikes.
Mini bikes. Don't hit me.
Don't crash into me.
Jeez, what are you doing? I don't think Savannah knows how to ride a bike, so let's see.
What do you mean I'm doing it right now?
Oh, great job.
Thank you.
Whee!
My handlebars aren't completely
You gotta tighten your...
locked in place.
Yeah, yours is all jacked up. Seat's all loose.
Well, don't hit me. So these bikes are really cool, but you may notice by the tire size that there's something a little bit different about them. Something you can't really see right off the bat, and that is they're foldable. So hopefully they'll fit on the back of the Unimog. These bikes literally just fold right in half.
We don't have a ton of space to mount any traditional bike carrier, so we found something really small and pretty light, and I think we can make it work.
You guys have been talking about us getting an alternative mode of transportation since we got the Unimog. And so we're finally doing it. We're putting bikes on the Unimog. The other thing I want to mention is that this video is not sponsored by the company where we got the bikes from. We did our own research. We bought the bikes with our own money. We wanted to find the smallest, lightest ones that we could for the back of the Unimog. And we think we hit the nail on the head. These are pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of options out there, but these are fitting a lot of the criteria, and they weren't extremely expensive because they're not carbon fiber. First things first, we gotta get these jerry cans off of here because this is where the bike's gonna go, one on each side. We have Unistrut mounted to the box, so we should be able to work off of that. A lot easier when they're empty. Gonna need a socket wrench.
Luckily, we already have this Unistrut mounted for the jerry cans that we had on the back of the camper. So really all that we have to do is make some kind of custom mount for the bikes, but we don't have to glue anything into the camper, which is really, really nice. Actually, it makes this a much simpler process.
Okay, there we go. Oh, still attached to the garbage. We'll just leave that there, it's fine.
It's actually like way colder out than it seems.
So much colder. Every time I step back out, I am shocked. It looks like it's not cold, but it's cold. This is my first attempt to fold this away without any instruction. So we'll see if it's like intuitive and easy. I think it should be pretty straightforward. Kickstand. Let's see, were these down? And then this is like the big one. Okay, you push the button in, that makes sense. There we go. Forward, yep. And bam, there it is. I think that's right. No, this isn't quite right because this magnet's supposed to catch.
Yeah, this has to be on the other side then.
Oh, maybe it needs to be spun around. No. Still not right. I don't know what's going on. Well.
Okay, we can figure this out. We built our camper. We built our whole house. We can figure out this bike. Hold, please.
All right, we got to figure it out. The handlebars, we never adjusted those, so they have to stay extended because then they're below everything. Next one should be a lot quicker. Okay.
Nice.
It is pretty light. the seats off. I mean, it'd be nice if they were on there just because it's, you don't have to store it somewhere else. It does something. I guess we'll see. Like, where's the widest thing? Just not sure how to situate it. Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah. We moved the truck into the shop because it got dark on us at about 5 p.m. because, you know, winter time. It also got really, really cold, and so it's nice and warm in here, and we can work past 5 o'clock and not be in the pitch black.
It's been about 3 hours of banging our head against the wall, and then we got one part of it designed. So tray at the bottom. Figuring out the top part still, but we're gonna get this up and see where we're at. Yeah, it's kind of tricky to design something to hold bikes in a way that they're not gonna get destroyed, which is probably why it costs a lot for good bike carriers. But we had Kevin bend up this nice piece of aluminum, and now we're gonna mount this and work off of it. I'm not sure if we want it centered or offset yet. I guess I gotta hold the bike up there too. What do you think, in line with this part of the box?
Yeah.
Hang it a little lower. Alright, so if we go up higher, it's just gonna make that part more complicated. Okay. Something like that.
Just like everything else on a DIY expedition truck build, this has to be a DIY bike mount. There is just nothing that exists, at least that we could find, to mount the bikes in this fashion off the back of the camper. This was kind of an area that we created, so now we have to make the bike mounts because nothing fits that you can buy.
This is where in the comments someone's gonna have like the perfect product. And it's gonna be like affordable and easy. Yeah.
If you can find that, props to you, because I could not. I think we're onto something here though. We're making good progress. We got the bottom part made, so now we just need something to stabilize the top.
Good, actually. We can center it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's gonna have, that's way too high. It's hitting the window.
Okay, well then I just go over a tiny bit.
To the right more. I think that's good.
So, I mean, you could basically center the tray, maybe off-center it an inch.
It's the bottom. So it's essentially center, it's just a little bit to the right.
Whatever, so off-center it a little bit, and then we can move the tray up and down. If we have to move it down, we will.
Yeah. When we were considering bikes, one of the biggest factors was the weight. We sort of wanted to go with e-bikes, but without spending a ton of money. They were pretty heavy. So these ones, this is the Forte, and it's 28 pounds, and this is the Campo, and it's 31 pounds. So we want to make sure that the bike mounts support the entire weight of the bike. We got refurbished versions of both of these bikes. So they have a few cosmetic imperfections, like the Campo has some scratches on the paint, but we really don't mind because this one was $250 and this one was just over $500. They were also having a 20% off holiday sale, so we got 20% off the refurbished price. Some of the other bikes we were looking at got really out of sight expensive when we need 2 of them. It was gonna be a huge investment, so these ones kind of checked all the boxes for size when they fold down. They were small enough to be on the back of the camper. Weight, they're less than we had in jerry cans, and they were pretty affordable.
This video is sponsored by Bluetti, and I want to show you the portable power station we've been using to power our projects behind the scenes. If you remember our Wildlands crew buggy build that we did last spring in Wyoming for our friend, we used a Bluetti unit just like this one for her whole power system, and it handled everything we threw at it.
Now this is the new Bluetti Elite 200 V2, the ultimate 2 kilowatt hour power solution for pretty much any scenario. First, durability. This thing is built around true automotive grade lithium iron phosphate cells. You're getting over 6,000 charge cycles, which is 12 times the industry average. Bluetti says this power station has a 17-year lifespan. So if you're looking for something you won't have to replace every few years, this is it. Next, power. Even though it's compact, the Elite 200 V2 packs a 2,073 watt-hour battery and a 2,600 watt output. That means you can run kitchen gear, power tools, pretty much anything you need. And if you need even more, there's Hercules mode, which boosts output up to 3,900 watts. Plus, you get multiple AC and DC ports, so you can run up to 9 devices at once. On one charge, we can recharge our drone battery 27 times, our phone 75 times, a laptop 28 times, run a 500 watt electric griddle for 3.4 hours, a 1300 watt hairdryer for 1.3 hours. You get the idea. It's powerful. You can go from 0 to full in 2.4 hours using solar input, or you can charge up to 80% in 45 minutes using Turbo Boost fast charging. And yes, it does have some weight to it, but that's part of what makes it so reliable. Bluetti built this with a dual layer shell for serious shock resistance and packed it with high quality automotive grade components so it's built to last. It's also smart. You get real-time battery monitoring, smart energy management, whisper quiet operation, app control, and efficient solar charging. It has a longer life, is insanely powerful, and is built to last. Check out the link below to get more information or pick up one for yourself. Huge thank you to Bluetti for supporting the channel. After some thinking about it, sitting here, looking at our design, we're kind of going back and forth on whether we want to mount the bikes going outward like that or flat against the camper. Of course we want to mount them flat as close to the camper as possible, just so there's not as much weight hanging off the back. It doesn't make us longer. But we're having some trouble designing the upper portion when it sits like this. The problem is that the unistrut is not long enough. We put the unistrut up there for the jerry cans, so it was only the height of those mounts, and the bikes are a lot taller than those jerry cans were. So we're starting to maybe rethink, should we position them going outward instead of sideways? I don't know.
Bikes are always a pain in the butt. This is why we haven't had them till now.
We knew these were going to be such a pain to mount, and they are. They're proving to be a pain.
Yeah. I don't think they actually look bad this way. I don't love that they make us stick out so far, but I don't think it necessarily looks bad. I mean, it's going to look bad anyway you put them. But I don't know.
You're going like this, and then the bar will eventually just set across. See what I'm saying? It's not that complicated. It could even be made out of angle.
It's gonna be rigid enough.
I think we figured out what we're gonna do. We came up with a plan at least. We're not just zoning out, staring at the back of the Unimog anymore, so that is progress. So we have an idea. Drew milled up the parts, and now I'm gonna weld it up. It's gonna be pretty low profile, which is really all that we wanted out of this, was to not extend the length of the Unimog, so I think it's gonna work really well. So let's pick up the pace, let's get going. We're gonna montage through the rest of this part of the project, because I got some welding to do. I'm excited. I haven't been able to weld on a project in a little while.
Ain't bad. All right, the last piece I need is a little bumper on the bottom. So it'll bump the bottom out and we can secure it there. So right now it's gonna wanna tilt in. I did find, this square piece of tubing that fits just perfectly. So I'm gonna cut it the distance of what the unistrut is at, and then I'll have Savannah weld that piece to the bottom so it's all one piece connected. And then we can put another grabber on there to grab the frame of the bottom, and then it should be pretty good. So let me cut this real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go give this to Savannah so she can weld it on. This would be nice, it's tubing at the bottom, so they give us options. We might be able to put a strap through there or a lock if we want. So I think that's a good choice. All right, you got the final piece?
Was it the bottom?
Yeah. We've got custom bike mounts. They're actually still hot, so I'm gonna go rinse them off so we can get them up there and size everything up.
These look pretty good. What is this contraption we came up with?
Need to take a little break, a little more time to think about it. All right, the most scientific way to weigh something is grab your small dog in one arm and then your rack in another arm. Compare. Okay. Oh, this is light. I mean, maybe a quarter of a Pablo. So probably about 3 pounds. He's about 12, right? Or what was he? 11?
He's 11.
Okay, he's 11 pounds. So one bike is 31, one's 28. So the heavier bike is 31 plus maybe 3 pounds. That's 34 pounds. The jerry cans, when they were full, the fuel alone was 35 pounds, plus the can, plus the rack. So probably over 40 pounds for that. So oddly enough, we've definitely reduced our weight from the jerry cans by adding bikes by a few pounds. So pretty proud of that. What do you think, Pop? I'm not that heavy. We did it.
We did it.
That was not the easiest one ever. It was definitely a headache.
Honestly, the credit goes to Drew. He thought of this one pretty much on his own.
Yeah, it took a minute to figure out, but I realized we were getting too complicated with it, and it needed to be simpler. And this is pretty simple, actually. You can kind of just hoist them up there. There'll be some like rubber grabby things that are on pretty much every bike rack, but we just don't have them yet. But those will be up there, and that'll really secure it. I think it's going to be really secure. Then we'll have to take a ride with it and see what it looks like. But it's sitting naturally. The weight is like hanging naturally, which is really important.
Now that we did our test fit, everything looks good. The bikes fit on them really nicely. I'm going to add a little bit of this carpet that we have left over from when we redid our cab. We have some just random pieces of this hanging around. So I figured it was perfect for adding to the bars of the bike rack so that we don't scratch up the bikes on the metal.
Cat tower?
Looks like a cat scratching post a little bit.
You ruined my masterpiece and turned it into a cat post or whatever the heck they're called.
So I covered the parts of the bike rack that the bike actually sets on or could rattle against, so that if it does move at all, it won't hurt the bike, hopefully. So the plan from here is actually a piece that we don't have. This is a quick fist clamp and it's too small. I didn't realize that when I bought it. So we have bigger ones coming in the mail, but we don't have them right now. But essentially what we're gonna do is put them up here. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, one on each arm, and then two.
Yeah, 1 or 2, I'm not sure yet.
1 or 2 down below to hold the lower part of the bike. So that's what's gonna secure it, is these clamps. They're pretty rugged clamps. They're made for mounting things to the outside of your vehicle. So I think they're gonna be perfect for this. We just don't have them, but imagine them. Imagine 4 of them on here. Isn't that so secure?
I thought we were just gonna put the bike on there and hope it didn't slide off.
Yeah, just set it on there and just hope for the best. Drew didn't want to add any buffer to this at all. He wanted it to just be bare metal.
Let me explain, because the grabby things are gonna hold it in place. It's not gonna move.
But what if it does? We drive down bumpy dirt roads.
You're gonna have to get a cat to play with that. Maybe Pablo will scratch it. Here we go. Unit strut nuts are not lining up. Just slide them down a little bit.
The pedal's in the way of the window.
Oh, the pedal's not supposed to be there. Did we do it? There we go. Okay, so the pedal's just gotta be in line that way.
Did you hear how nice and soft it sounded?
I did.
Did you like it?
I mean, yes. Ultimately, it's not gonna be on that, but...
Way better than the metal on metal, which is actively scraping the paint off.
Oh, I like the metal on metal. That's just because I'm so metal, though. There it is.
I like this setup because when we put our locks on the bikes, we're gonna have a few different ways of locking it. We can thread everything around the bracket on the bottom and the top, and then it'll be fully secured. So this actually works really well with our lock setup too. The last piece to the puzzle is covers for the bikes. I don't know if these are gonna fit very well without me having to modify them, which means cutting a hole in it and sewing it back up.
Just set them on there and see what they look like.
There might be a way to do it.
You're just gonna have to, like, probably cinch it in or something. Yeah, it already is kind of working.
It's kind of working. The zipper's kind of zipping up in the back.
Because it would cinch in on the sides, you get it behind here.
Well, you know what this is? This is a problem for tomorrow. I think we've done enough.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Yeah, it's almost 1 a.m., guys. I think we did good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Pretty good for literally no plan.
Yeah. Yeah, we pulled that one out. And they just fit. If you want a custom bike rack, don't email me. This was a pain in the butt. But good luck. Alright, I'm ready to go to bed.
Let's go to bed.
Alright. Well, we better clean up first.
Nah, we'll just go to bed.
You'll get struck out of here. Look what we got. I think these are the clamps. Let's see what we have. Oh no, these are way too big. That is gigantic. So we'll have to send these back and get smaller ones. Whoops.
Look how big these are. It's like bigger than my hand.
2.5 to 7 inches diameter. I was thinking circumference because the bar is like 4.5 circumference. Yeah, look, for trucks, ATVs and vehicles. Oh man. Well, those aren't gonna work, but the idea works. We just need smaller ones. Okay, this is how it will work once we have the appropriate size. Obviously way too big, but that will be under there. So imagine this, but much smaller. And then they crank down here and they tighten. And then it'll hold it really secure. So we just gotta get a smaller one. And it gets held at 3 points. So it should be pretty secure. Plus the bottom will have one. Yeah, little too big. Whoops. It looks like we're not gonna use this tray after all. It's a little clunky. It did help to visualize by holding the bikes up there, but I don't think we need it. Yeah, I'm gonna say probably no. It feels really stable without needing a support from the bottom, so bye-bye folded piece of metal.